Hello, this is OverlordBou, and we're back with another ship review video, and today we'll be looking at the new premium British Tier 6 cruiser, the Dido. You can get this ship, or the Canaris for free, but you have to pay for the second ship during the event starting in 11.1, which is going to be around February 16th. Now I would recommend the Dido if the player is seeking a demanding but higher rewarding ship. So the Dido is more of a skill-based ship, while the Canaris is more of a straightforward but strong ship to play as their free ship. So let's look over the armor real quick. Take a look real quick. So the armor is 13mm bow, 13mm rear with the little 89mm armor section here. And the Citadel is a little bit out of the water there, a little bit above water. And let's look at the build real quick. And just to mention that this ship is still work in progress, that's why you see this thing up here. The changes that they are doing to the smokescreen, I've already implemented into the stats today. So you don't have to worry about looking those up, because I've already implemented them into the build today. Already implemented them into the video. Main armament, damage con, aiming systems, and gearing modification. Right here is going to be the build. It's going to be last stand with grease the gears, party target, superintendent, reliability expert, adrenaline rush, IFHE, and concealment. Now the build out of the way, let us start going into the... Let's watch the video real quick. So we'll talk about the stats during that. Now, important thing to note, that the reason why we have the IFHE is because IFHE is important to the Dido's damage output, which allows her HE to pin all but tier 8 battleships. So it's very important you take the IFHE. You can do heavy AP and SAP if you'd like, but you're not going to get that important pin which IFHE is going to give, and that's why I'd recommend the IFHE over heavy HE and SAP there. Now let's talk about the armor and survivability of the Dido. Now the Dido is 13mm bow and stern with a 13/89mm side with a 13/25mm deck. It does have an above water citadel, notably only under the engines, does not extend to turret or under the bridge. Now this ship does have a 23,600 HP pool. Now it is tied with the armament for lowest HP pool among the tier 6 cruisers. The Dido is one of the squishiest ships at her tier, having low HP, practically no armor, and a raised citadel. A careless player may find himself or herself back in port if he does not angle or evade properly. Thankfully, Dido's numerous quirks and gimmicks can help keep her alive for longer than what may expect. While her armor is not existent, her citadel size is relatively small and does not extend to under the turrets nor bridge. This will throw off many players who may try aiming under turrets expecting a citadel. Now the ship does get access to the Royal Navy smoke, and enhanced maneuverability allows her to evade a lot of damage as well. Essentially, the Dido's longevity on the battlefield highly depends on the player. Less skilled players will frequently explode in spectacular fashion, whereas good players will take advantage of Dido's strengths to avoid death. Now let's talk about the main armaments. It has 5 twin 133/50 guns with an ABXY layout. It has 8.5 second base reload with an 18-second 180 turret traverse. It can fire broadside 46 degrees off the bow and 27 degrees off of the stern. And it does have a 24-degree off bow if you ignore the 5th gun. Now the HE shells do 1900 damage with a 22mm HE pin, an 8% fire chance with 134k HE DPM, and the AP has 3800 shell damage with a 14mm overmatch with a 60 through 75 degree ricochet angle. It does have 180k AP DPM, normal fuse time, and not the Royal Navy light cruiser fuse, sadly. Now, due to the poor shell ballistics similar to DD's in mostly good turret firing angles, IFHE is pretty much needed. It helps improve the effective damage output significantly. Now the Dido is pretty much a light cruiser armed with DD guns, Unfortunately, this didn't translate to more DACA, as her effective damage output lags behind other light cruisers and even some DDs. This is mostly fixable with IFHE, allowing Dido to pen 27mm with HE to fight tier 7 and below BBs in any cruiser she comes across. Now, the Dido's AP is passable, though partially because of the number of poorly armored cruisers at her tier. She can Citadel broadside cruisers under 7 kilometers, but don't expect much when fighting battleships and DDs. As a side note, even though Dido and Ramat has the same guns, Dido's shells travel slightly faster for some reason. Now let's talk about the torpedoes. The Dido has two triple 533mm torps with an 8 kilometer range and a 15.867 damage with a 61 knots with a 72-second reload and 8.2-second reaction time of when they're first spotted. Now you can single fire these torpedoes as well, which is pretty much a given for pretty much all British ships to have torpedoes. Now the Dido's torps are nothing special other than their single fire ability. Use them to kite ship at close range or save them for a point blank charge. Keep in mind that the Dido lacks sufficient firepower to kill full HP battleships in one pass. Her torps will rarely affect the match, but during these few moments, you'll be thankful you have torps. Now, the anti-air defense is 2 flak puffs to enter with none outer. The far is 63 DPS, mid is 63 DPS, and the near is 95 DPS, so not very good anti-air at all. Now, the Dido's anti-air doesn't exactly live up to expectations. Despite her IRL reputation, her anti-air performance in game is quite lacking, even with DFAA active. Her firepower is not enough to reliably ward off attack planes. Worse, she still takes significant damage from any significant strikes on her due to her poor armor. Now, like most cruisers, the Dido relies heavily on her maneuverability to avoid CV attacks, although she also has Royal Navy smoke to help out at a pinch. While her AA isn't strong, her real-life reputation, excellent handling, and smoke might be enough to dissuade most CVs from attacking her, so pray to RNGesus on that one. Now let's talk about her maneuverability. She goes 32.3 knots max speed with a 580 turning radius and a 6.5 rudder shift. It does have the Royal Navy light cruiser improves acceleration, which will definitely help you when you're trying to throttle juke shots and make sure you dodge them. It does have a tight, an average top speed for the tier and tight turning radius as well, superior or on par with many DDs. It does have the fastest rudder shift time among tier 6 cruisers. Overall, the Dido is easily the best handling cruiser at her tier, proving superior to even most DDs. The Royal Navy acceleration combined with a tight turn radius makes her extremely hard to hit if the player is paying attention. Not even PACL sister ship Ramat can compare to the acceleration difference. It is pretty insane. Now the concealment, which includes the camo base, is going to be 10.3 kilometer C, and air is going to be 5.1 kilometer air, and 9.3 kilometers if you build into it, and 4.6 air if you build into it as well. The Dido has very low surface detection radius, only beaten by a few other light cruisers at tier 6. This complements her smoke playstyle, well as Dido can get within 9 kilometers before smoking up to farm enemy ships. Now, due to the frequent close-range engagements at low tier, the last thing you want is to be revealed in smoke broadside to a charging BB. And let's go into the consumables. The consumables have a standard cruiser damage control party with a 5-second immunity period and a 60-second reload. It does also have a standard cruiser defensive AA with 3 base charges, 4 with superintendent, which does 50+% continuous damage, plus 300% flak damage, is active for 40 seconds and reloads in 80 seconds. Now it does get the Royal Navy smoke generator, which is 5 base charges, 6 with superintendent. It does have a 15-second smoke lane time. With the now they did go here. Now, the duration, it was 40, but they did change it to 35 seconds because they were changing the nerf. That's why it's a work in progress, is because they were changing it from the duration from being 40 to 35, and they changed the reload from 70 to 80. So they nerfed the smoke generator on the Dido. Now, overall impressions, this is a high skill floor, extremely high skilled ceiling ship. The much anticipated Dido has finally come to WoWs, and unfortunately, she does not live up to her hype. The Dido can be thought of as the tier 6 Royal Navy version of a Flint or Ramot, a smoke cruiser with rapid fire DD caliber guns. As much as the Dido plays somewhat similar to the other smoke ships, using islands and smoke to safely from other ships. However, the key difference is that the Dido can also competently gunboat in open water thanks to her exceptional maneuverability. A well-captained Dido can continue pressuring the enemy in open water, using smokes to break contact in emergencies. What holds her back is her high skill floor, due to her squishiness and slow shells. Though similar to her sister ship, the tier 6 PACA Ramot, there are some key differences between the two ships. The Ramot uses the PA type smoke, can stealth torp with 10-kilometer deepwater torps, and has a higher gun DPM. Dido uses the Royal Navy style smoke, has a far superior maneuverability, and has faster shell ballistics. In terms of playstyle, the Ramot is fairly typical smoke cruiser with a balanced armament of effective guns and torpedoes. Dido is a more mobile gun cruiser who focuses on guns as her primary damage output. Even though all the massive nerfs in the devlog, the Dido remains a capable, a bit difficult to play correctly ship. Players that are looking for a straightforward but strong ship should take the Canaris as their free ship. Otherwise, if the player is seeking a demanding but highly rewarding ship, the Dido is the better choice. Now, let's talk about for randoms and ranked. For randoms, I would say is mediocre to above average, highly skill dependent. As you can see in this match, I'm doing, well, at the end, you'll see I did quite well in this match. And this is all due to the skill of using the smokes and using the ship's stealth to be able to move it around and be able to start farming the battleships. So there's that. She is difficult to play and demands a unique build for optimal performance. With IFHE and a good captain or a helm, the Dido can perform very well, but the average player will likely struggle to put up good numbers. For ranked, I would say about average. The Dido can farm ships in ranked, but suffers from her unforgiving playstyle. It's better to play less taxing ships, especially if you play ranked in long sessions. Now, I did a video on the Canaris and the Dido. I do recommend the Canaris for more newer players, but for players that are more experienced, I would say that the Dido's more likely your choice, even though they are going to be they are going to be nerfing the smoke on the Dido, and they are going to be nerfing the guns on the Canaris as well, and the 11.1 update. You can get one of the ships for free, so I would say for more skilled players, you should get the probably it's better to get if you want the more skilled ship, or if you're a higher skill level player, I would say take the Dido. If you're looking for a more straightforward, easier to play but strong ship, I would say take the Canaris. But again, I do enjoy playing both of the ships. I didn't really have issues playing either of them. I was able just to take the ships out first time. I immediately felt like how to be able to play the ship right away. That kind of feeling just shows that the ship was it just shows the ship is kind of just right. When you can get that playstyle down right away, so like, okay, this feels nice. It's pretty nice. I like it. And ships in the past where if I have trouble trying to figure out the playstyle, usually within like 10 matches or so, usually I am more tended to more like, okay, this ship's gonna be more really high skill level, or it's just gonna be a poor ship overall, usually. And I do actually like the horn on the Dido, by the way. I don't know if any other ship has this horn, but it actually does have a very nice horn. I do like the look of the Dido as well. It is a very nice looking ship as well. And again, you can get the Dido or the Canaris for free in the upcoming event in 11.1. So again, you can do that. You can get either one for free, but you do have to pay for the other. So you can get the Dido for free, but you have to pay for the Canaris, or you can get the Canaris for free and pay for the Dido. So either or. Now, pretty much the rest of this match is us literally just chasing down the team. So since I'm already done talking about the ship, I'm just going to end the replay here. And we're just going to be the video on the Dido. If you guys have any questions or concerns, definitely leave the comments down below. Again, the ship will be available through the events in the upcoming 11.1 patch, which will be around February 16th. And this is OverlordBou, and I will talk to you all later.